Welcome to the middle ground. It is game week. Ohio State versus Michigan. The game. It is back. I am Ohio Divided. He is Michigan Metal. And we are here to talk not about who's going to win, not about who's going to lose, but who's got more pressure and what's more at stake. Because I think there's an argument to be made for this one. There might be as much on the line for both sides as there's ever been. And there's been a lot on the line the last 4 years when Michigan has dominated the rivalry in this decade. Before we get into it, Metal, happy game week. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy fucking game week. You know what? I'm so excited that it's finally here, and I'm also depressed that it's finally here because this entire football season has flew by so fast.
Does this not feel like the fastest football season that we've had yet?
It does. It really does. It's just crazy. I mean, as a Michigan fan, you know, it's had its ups and downs with having 2 losses already and just going through extreme pain watching Michigan play against Northwestern and Purdue. But it has definitely flown by. Like, we have time traveled. Like, I can remember us starting this podcast and having discussions back in May and just talking about the preseason talks, what's going to happen in the 2025 season. Is Ohio State going to go back-to-back? Is Bryce Underwood going to be the key for Michigan? Like, it's just crazy how fast this has gone. And then now we're here. We're here to Ohio State versus Michigan. Number 15 Michigan versus number 1 Ohio State, which in my eyes, Ohio State is looking like the best team in college football. So, yeah, I'm excited. Fuck you, by the way, since you're a Ohio State fan.
Yes, sir. Fuck you. I think a lot of it has to do with why this season feels like it's gone so fast, at least for me and you. Like, we both moved right in the middle of football season. So, like, both of our lives have been absolutely chaotic the last 3 months. And when you're dealing with, like, selling a house, getting all your shit packed up, getting moved into a new house, getting everything settled in, like, time isn't even a thing. I think that in general, the season has gone very long, but I think that has a lot to play into it as well. But I'll tell you what, in regards to the game, dude, I am just ready to get this thing going, and I'm ready to just play this damn thing. I always forget every single year how annoying Twitter is, especially now that, like, after the Saturday games are over, the rivalry basically starts, and you play Michigan. Michigan plays Ohio State in the next Saturday coming up, and the rivalry starts then and there. I mean, it goes all year round, but really, like, the banter, the shit talking, the posts, the videos, everything that you see online, it really starts as soon as your game the week prior ends, and it's officially the game. It's officially rivalry week, and today's Wednesday, and, like, I'm about tired of getting on Twitter anymore. It's just like, this Ohio State count talking shit here, and I am to blame too. You're to blame as well. Michigan fans are talking shit about this. It's just like, I'm so sick and tired of hearing all these narratives that, well, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Well, you guys haven't won them 4 times, but blah, 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 cheating, blah, 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 blah. I'm just ready to line up and go.
Yeah, I feel the same. I love the banner back and forth. And
it is fun. It is fun.
It's fun. But, like, I'm just like a kid. Like, I basically have no patience as it is for anything.
Yep.
And I just want Saturday to be here. Like, I want it to be 11 o'clock or, like, noon for you Eastern Standard Time folks. But I just want to, I have that Coors Light in my hand, ready for that clock to basically just say 15 and then the ball get kicked off. Like, I'm just ready for it. Everyone's talking shit at this point, and I love it. It's great. And I've seen people with severely bad takes, and I've seen people with some great takes. But yeah, I'm there with you, dude. I just want this game to start and get it over with. I feel like tomorrow and Friday are just going to be like dreadful, and they're going to slowly move like a slug. And I just want it to be 11 o'clock on Saturday morning.
I agree. I agree. There's only so much shit talking, and like I said, like, I enjoy it as well, but there's only so much of that you can take where it's almost like, oh, come on, let's just line up, let's just play, and let's just get this over with. But one thing I'll say, like, this week just feels different than any other, and it also plays in, you have Thanksgiving, it's a short week for work, like, vibes are high, but, like, I can't lie, and we're going to get into it later in the week, whether that be tomorrow, whether that be Friday. why I think Ohio State's going to win. Metal's going to get into why he thinks Michigan's going to win. But, like, I'd be lying to you if I didn't wake up this week and, like, it just feels different because we haven't beaten you guys in 4 times. And it's kind of like I felt very, very confident this entire year. But now that it's here, you are lying to yourself if you're an Ohio State fan, if you're sitting here acting like, oh, I feel 100% confident. You can't help but think what happened not only the last 4 years, but especially last year whenever you were by far and away the much better football team and you still got that ass clap. So I think that there's definitely some nervousness that I haven't really felt up in this entire year, even the Texas game, even the Washington game, some of the bigger games that we've had on the schedule. It's just a different feel, a different vibe, and kind of like they better get it done. But I think what we really want to get into today, and I think that this question is a little bit twofold. For one, who has more pressure going into this game? And when I say that, I think that you could have 2 different answers for 2 different questions. The one being, who has more pressure? Obviously, I would say that being Ohio State. And then you also ask the next question, who has more at stake? And I think that is probably Michigan. So let's dive into who has more pressure. And I don't know, Metal. I say Ohio State. Who do you got?
I think Ryan Day and Ohio State have more pressure. I don't know if you want me to explain why first, or if you want to go. But,
I mean, I agree with you. I agree that it's Ohio State. So I'll hear your thoughts, and then we can break it down.
So coming into this, Ryan Day is now 1-4 against Michigan. Last year was just a total catastrophic meltdown of the game plan from Chip Kelly going on to Jim Knowles and Ryan Day. They just let that game just get away, and they tried to play into Michigan's strengths. And I may have some arguments on that. Ohio State in the past years X, Y, and Z, blah blah blah. We'll get into that another time. But you look at this, if Ohio State is not producing in the playoffs and they just lose, especially last year, what is the outcome of Ryan Day from that point, right? Fortunately for you guys, you guys got a national championship, and the expectations are probably much higher this year, but just because Ohio State has been winning with flying colors against everybody besides, winning against Texas. So this offense is much better than last year besides the run game. The defense is much better. You have Matt Patricia taking basically has this NFL scheme to where he disguises the coverages, and you see this NFL style defense out there in the field, which throws college quarterbacks in a complete loop. You have Julian Sayin, who's playing exceptional. He's got an average of I think 79% completion right now with 27 TDs, 2,800 yards throwing, 90.3 QBR. And then you have 2 day one starting NFL elite style receivers of Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. It's just by looking at the stats and stuff, Ohio State wins this game, by any projection, right? But if Ohio State loses this game, it's just going to be a complete meltdown again in the fan base. Ohio State is already in the CFP, regardless if they win or lose. But you have a fan base, you have alumni, you have people that are just part of the university that are just so over of losing to Michigan. Just to build up the entire year, you have fans on Twitter, fans in person, fans in state, fans around the United States that are Ohio State fans that want to beat Michigan. They want to show the world that, Michigan is not in Ryan Day's head. When I believed, could that be a change from last year after losing to Michigan? Possibly, but this is going to be a mental game to where the stakes are going to be extremely high for this rivalry. And I know people say that Michigan versus Ohio State doesn't matter anymore. It matters.
Bullshit.
And so much. It matters in any way, shape, or form. Just because there was a 12-team playoff, that doesn't mean that this rivalry does not matter. I mean, people want to compare this to how college football is changing to the NFL. Fair, that's fine. because there are scenarios where Michigan and Ohio State can possibly by a small percentage play each other. But this is to people that are a part of this team, people that wear that scarlet and gray, and people that wear that maize and blue, and are part of the coaching staff for both teams. This stuff matters. I mean, just the tradition, just the years and years and years of hatred that this rivalry has brought. I mean, this stuff matters. So if Ryan Day loses, I don't think Ryan Day's in a hot seat at all. I don't think his job is an extremis. I just think that, the fan base and what has been shown and presented to the Ohio State fan base and probably the college football world has been false. And I'm not saying it would be a fluke, because Ohio State, obviously, we saw last year, they can win a national championship again, and they're very much predicted so, I think, with like a plus 170, with the highest odds at this point. But it would be a complete meltdown. And I think as pressure-wise, Ryan Day needs to show everybody that Michigan is not in his head. Michigan is not the boogeyman that the college football world perceives it as.
Yeah, I agree with basically every single thing that you said there. And the part that I want to start on is you hit on a lot of about does the game matter anymore? I would argue the game matters as much in the past 4 years as it's maybe ever has in its existence. We're talking about an era where Michigan won a national championship. Ohio State then followed the year after that with winning a national championship. We've seen fights on the field. We've seen flags that have been planted. We've seen a rivalry get completely flipped on its head where Ohio State dominated it for 20 years, and now Michigan's the one dominating it, and Ohio State's trying to do anything and everything that they can to get back on top. So when you talk about if the rivalry matters, I think it matters now as much as it's ever been. When have they both been national championship contenders coming off back-to-back years? Michigan goes out, gets the number one recruit, number one quarterback in the country. He's here playing as a true freshman, has his team at 9-2. Ohio State's 11-0 coming off a national championship. It is as high of stakes. It's as much excitement as we have probably seen in the history of the rivalry. And there's as much on the table as what there's ever been. Yes, there's pressure on Ohio State, but really going into this year, I think most Ohio State fans would have been okay if they didn't win the national championship as long as they beat Michigan. And it's awesome that you're 11-0. It's awesome that you have basically dominated everybody up until this point. But no Ohio State fan really, really, really cares until you beat Michigan. And if you don't beat Michigan, you better win the national championship. Because if you lose to Michigan and not win the national championship, Ryan Day is not going to get fired. He's not going to get ran out of town. But the fan base is going to be very, 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 very loud again. And that's just the port that they're at. Michigan has been in Ryan Day's head. There isn't a single kid on this Ohio State roster that knows what beating Michigan is like. It is completely different than what it was 5 years ago at this time. So if you're Ryan Day, if you're Ohio State, I don't know what it is that you have to do, but you have a lot of pressure here. You cannot let 4 turn into 5. You cannot let 4 turn into 5 because this rivalry game matters as much as it ever has, as much as it ever will. And you're both at the top of college football or have been in the past, and you're in a position where this is maybe the most that there's ever been at stake going into the game than what there's been in the history of the rivalry.
Yeah, and it's another thing, too, if Michigan beats Ohio State has no chance of making the Big Ten championship.
And that's another feather in Michigan's cap if they can beat them again. Yes, Ohio State's making the playoff regardless, which is awesome. Yeah. And I can always still, I can take the approach if we lose. Let's say we lose Saturday. Sunday, I'd take, all right, not going to the Big Ten championship, whatever. Go to the playoff, run it back like we did last year. Get healthy, run it back. Do what we did last year. If we did what we did last year, I'm going to be very happy in the end. But it's still another thing. That's another feather in Michigan's cap. Beat them for a 5th straight time. Kept them out of a 5th straight Big Ten championship. That, they are the one team that didn't stand in the way last year of reaching the ultimate goal. They were still able to reach the ultimate goal. But in 2021, they stood in the way. In 2022, Ohio State got lucky that USC got beat. They were able to sneak in and still make the playoff, but they damn near ruined it. 2023 kept them out of the playoff, kept them out of the Big Ten championship. 2024 kept them out of the Big Ten championship. So it's not only that they're beating you, but they're also stopping you from reaching some of your goals in the past, whether that be a Big Ten championship or making the college football playoff.
Yeah. It's actually like really interesting just knowing that like this has been, and when people say this rivalry doesn't matter, like Michigan Ohio State has been the barrier to where who is going to make the CFP or who's going to make a championship game for years. And now like we have the 12-team playoff to where like Michigan beats Ohio State. You could see a possibility to where Michigan Ohio State like play each other again. And there's another fucking odd scenario, like I said earlier, to where Ohio State and Michigan could play each other 3 times. To where if Michigan beats Ohio State and then you have Indiana losing, which there's no fucking way in hell Indiana loses Purdue, but let's say this happens. If Oregon loses to Washington, Michigan and Ohio State play each other in the Big Ten championship. And whether or not the result of that game, right? Michigan still has a chance if they, let's say, Michigan loses to Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. Like, Michigan and Ohio State can see each other in the CFP. Like, Michigan still has, like, high favorite odds because they're not going to get punished in the conference championship for making it, for one, and for two, for losing. They would still make the CFP, and they can still see each other in the first round. To where Michigan would probably go to Ohio State. And that would be fucking nuts. Like,
I want to see that so bad.
Oh God! Like, it would be a night game too in the shoe. Like, oh, it would be really cool. But I can see that being a complete nightmare.
I don't know if I could handle myself with an Ohio State Michigan matchup in the playoff. That would be, especially if it's a neutral site. That's one thing. But if like we had to go there, you had to come here. Like, that would be so fucked. Like, my mental health that week would be fucked.
I know. Like, it would be crazy just seeing that happen. Like, it will happen one day. It will happen.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it almost happened in 2022. You know, if Michigan would have beat TCU and Ohio State would have beat Georgia, like, you would have saw it in a national championship. Like,
my God.
Meltdown. It's so possible for this to happen in the future. Probably not this year, but maybe in years to come, to where, like, you will see Ohio State versus Michigan playoff game, right? So
for sure.
Let's. Do you want to talk about the stakes? Because I think.
I think let's turn this on the other side. What's more at stake, or who has more at stake?
So Michigan has more at stake, right? Like, if Michigan loses, obviously they're out of the CFP. I don't think Moore gets fired. Like, this is a much improved Michigan team from last year. Offensively, on effectiveness on ESPN, you know, Michigan is like 16th. Throughout there, and Ohio State's number 4. So, like, there is so much improvement from last year to this year offensively, to where, like, we have a pulse other than just running the ball. And I would say we run the ball more effectively than we did last year too, right?
Because you're able to throw the ball.
Yeah, because we're able to throw the ball, right? Like, we have, you know, Andrew Marsh, which I think he is elite. He's only a freshman. There's just so much more. Like, the ceiling is very high for Andrew Marsh, and the ceiling is very, very high for Bryce Underwood. I mean, just clean up some of the, you know, mechanics and obviously the freshman mistakes, and there's just so much room for him to grow. Like I said, I don't think anything negative will happen to Moore. Like, this is just a positive season, even if we do lose to Ohio State, because we're not losing 5 games. We would only lose 3, you know, make a fucking stupid bowl game, right? I mean, there's a lot at stake. I mean, this is, again, like, in the same scenario for the past 5 years or 10 years when there was only a 14 playoff, to where, like, if Michigan loses, like, Michigan's out, but if Michigan wins, Michigan's also in the CFP. So, like, Ohio State doesn't have that much stakes in objectively, besides like a W in the column and going to the Big Ten championship, and then getting I would say not objectively, but like they have a chance to host or to have a bye. like if they make the CFP, right? Or if they make the Big Ten championship, and they play Indiana, which is another juggernaut of a team. So Michigan definitely has the most states needed because they need to win. They win, there's a chance they play in the Big Ten championship. Regardless of that, they're definitely going to jump someone in the CFP because they would have the best win out of anybody in college football this year. And now, do they jump Notre Dame? Do they jump Alabama? Do they jump Miami? Who knows at this point? And that just really depends on how well, those three teams play at the end of the season. And also, Ole Miss has to play in the Egg Bowl, so there's a chance for them to lose as well. If they lose, are they out? So on and so forth, right? So if Michigan wins, they're in the playoffs, and that's where the states are at the most. Like Michigan fans, some of them have unrealistic expectations. I fell in for that probably early on in the season to where I'm seeing a kid who's 18 years old and I'm expecting a lot from him, especially against like Oklahoma and USC, to where I just see fucking offensive malpractice. So 100%, I don't think there's any percentage on Ohio State having higher stakes at this point than Michigan.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Sharon Moore gets fired. Like, obviously, they're not going to fire him. Year 1 goes 7-5. You're going to give him a pass from that. Year 2 improves to 9-3 at worst if they do lose. And he came out, had a freshman quarterback that played. They were much more competitive, better team than what they were the year before. So, like, his trajectory is going in the right direction. But I think that there will be, like, there already is a crowd of Michigan fans that are very loud about Sharon Moore. There is a crowd that I don't know if they're actually serious when they say fire Sharon Moore. But there is a group of people out there that do say it. And you know damn well that if they go Michigan, or if Ohio State rolls into Ann Arbor on Saturday and Ryan Day gets his first win in 5 tries up there and coming off 7-5, then year 2 you lose to Michigan, you lose to Ohio State, who kept you out of the playoff and reaching your ultimate goal of getting to the playoff and competing for a national championship. You know damn well there will be a group of Michigan fans that get very, very loud, and that's just something that you, like, the distractions are just something, like, you don't need that type of shit. Like, Ohio State had it the entire year from 2023 to 2024, leading up into last year. Like, it was just all talk the entire time. Ryan Day, 3 times in a row. Is he going to beat Michigan? He's getting these transfers in. He's got to put it together. He's got to do it. That's when the pressure starts going raising and raising and raising and raising. And I think that's what's at stake. Like, you lose to Ohio State for 1. For 2, they hold you out of the college football playoff. And for 3, you're going to have a very vocal Michigan crowd.
Very vocal. I mean, to be fair, like, I'll be upset that we lost. Like, it just depends on, like, a loss is a loss no matter what. Like, you that's just another L in the loser column, right?
But like, how you lose?
Yeah, it's like, is it how you lose? Like, if Michigan loses by, let's say, a field goal or like a touchdown come Saturday, I'll be pissed, but like, I think I'll get over it. I mean, I'll feel good about myself a little bit, but like, if Julian Sayin starts firing in all cylinders and everything in Ryan Day's game plan is perfection, and we just get blown out, I would be mad. Would I call?
So like we go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So what if like Ohio State comes out and they are firing on all cylinders and they win by like a couple scores and Julian Sayin looks really good? Couldn't you also say like, well, this is kind of what we've seen from Ohio State all year? Like, yeah, Sharon Moore, you got to beat Ohio State, and you can't get beat like you did. But you can also sit there and say like, well, Ohio State's just really fucking good too. Nobody else has been able to keep up with them either. So you don't want to be like unfair to the guy either, because maybe it is that scenario. Ohio State does come in, they win by double digits, and it's like, yeah, maybe Ohio State's just really, really, really fucking good. Sometimes like you just got to give credit where credit is due. Just like I did in like 2023. Like I did not expect Ohio State to go up to Ann Arbor and win that game. I knew from the jump Michigan was probably going to win and that they were the better team. And I was on it like, yeah, I was pissed that we lost. It sucked. You kept us out of the playoff, but it was a much more competitive game. I liked how like our defense responded against you guys, and like the game was only a 6-point loss. And don't take that as like me being soft and this and that, but like I wasn't expecting to win that game. Like I gave credit where credit was due. Michigan was just a better team, and like we were competitive with them. We had a shot to win at the end, and we just didn't do it.
Yeah. No, I can see that too. Like I mean my thought process in going to the 2023 game was that like Michigan was going to blow out Ohio State just because like that's what we saw with 21 and 22, right? And you go into this and we win by 6 points, right? It's still a win. But I'm not going to take away from Ohio State. Like Ohio State is really good this year. Like you guys have one of the best like rushing defenses just for like yards allowed this year. Which is so much better than it was last year because there was struggles last year with Ohio State. Like, yes, the loss against Oregon was bad, but there was struggling against like Nebraska, which they were okay. They were a decent team, and then obviously just the loss against Michigan, which was again just catastrophic meltdown. You don't really see that this year with Ohio State, besides like what I watched against UCLA and Rutgers, to where yes, like Ohio State, like you guys like completely dominated them the whole game, but you can see like which is like mental mistakes and like just play calling. Like I didn't understand like what Ryan Day and Hartline were doing, especially in the red zone against Rutgers with like putting keyholes in. Like I understand it is Rutgers, but there was just so many mental mistakes that were made during that game. And could that basically leak over to Ohio State and Michigan? I don't think that's going to happen. Especially like everyone knows that Jeremiah Smith is going to play. Now, is Carnell Tate going to play? I don't think so. I just from like what I'm seeing and reading, I think like Carnell Tate is going to be kind of like a decoy at this point, if that makes sense. I don't know if you would agree with that or not, but I see like Tate just like playing like maybe like a couple plays because he doesn't really need to play. Like he doesn't need to play.
So like Jeremiah, I'm sure you saw that. Jeremiah already came out and said he's playing. Like that's 100%. He'll be out there. Carnell, like I really have no idea. Like I would say it's a flip of a coin if he'll be out there or not. I've heard everything from he has an Achilles injury or a calf injury, and they're kind of just resting it the past month, basically, so it doesn't turn into anything, and ultimately their goal is to have him back for the postseason because they know they're going to be in the postseason. And then, two, I've also heard there's like rumors that he's gotten in trouble and that this is just like a silent suspension type of thing. I don't think it's the whole suspension thing. There's a lot more smoke around the whole injury side of things. So I really do think it is more he just hurt his calf, and I think they're just being extremely cautious before they throw him back out there. But I also wonder, too, like this is probably his last shot at playing Michigan. Like he's probably definitely going to the NFL. And maybe he kind of knew this like 3 weeks ago, like kind of tweaked it and was like, oh, well, fuck Purdue, fuck UCLA, fuck Rutgers. I don't need to play in those games. Like, I want to make sure I'm 100% healthy, ready to go for Michigan because I haven't beat them yet. This is my last crack at it, and I want to go out there and make history, basically. I don't know. Like, it's so many – there's so many narratives out there. There's so many rumors.
Yeah.
I'm taking it with flip a coin. Maybe we'll see him. Maybe we won't. But – I'm hoping it's on the side of, yes, I have had a little something going on. It's really not that big of a deal. I just didn't play against these dog shit teams because I want to play against Michigan and I want to go into the postseason and win another national championship. But there's been nothing out there that said that that's true. I really think that we're not going to figure out until about 9 a.m. your time, 10 a.m. my time, if he's going to go or not.
Yeah, I think, like, if... I know, like, Ryan Day, like, he handles, like, these injuries, like, probably just, like, he always plays safe.
So weird about it.
Yeah, like, JSN, like, the same thing, like, with, like, Jackson Smith and Jigma. Like,
yeah,
he did the same thing. Like, where he wanted to play safe, and like not make sure like the kid gets hurt. And like I get it. I mean, you really don't want to like ruin this kid's career just because like over like a football game, right? Like the stakes for like your like health status are extremely high at this point, because if it is like this Achilles like slash like calf injury, like there is so many things that can go wrong with that, and that just push it. That would basically just put like Carnell Tate, if something does happen, in a bubble. And me saying this, I want Smith and Tate both to play. Like I just want them both to play.
Yeah.
I want everybody to be healthy. Like I wish
I agree.
Justice Haynes was healthy. I wish Rod Moore
Yep.
was healthy.
Yep.
I want everybody to be healthy at this game time, because I just don't. I'm not saying that you would make excuses. I just know you wouldn't, because like you're just not. You're a very charitable person, but like just hearing everybody else like, oh wow, we didn't have Carnell Tate out there, so this is why we lost. Blah blah blah. No,
Yeah, it just removes all excuses, right?
Yeah, like it just removes that. But I definitely would like to see them on the field. Like that would be something to see, because just wishing people to stay hurt, it's just like fucking cowardice.
Yeah.
It's just not cool. Like everybody should be healthy. Now what if Justice Haynes just comes out fully dressed, no boot,
That'd be fucking awesome. That'd be fucking awesome.
Holy shit.
Is he done for the year?
I think he's done for you. He had surgery. He's done.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's not coming back.
I didn't know if they officially confirmed. I figured like that's what's so fucked about college football. Like the NFL, you have to be pretty transparent with where guys are, and like they go on like the IR and they're out for like 4 weeks guaranteed. Where like college football, you can sit here and call a guy week to week, day to day, and he's actually out for the fucking year. I don't know. I wish there was a little bit more transparency in college football, because like right now, like what is keeping Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate a secret? What is that doing to Michigan? Like absolutely nothing. They're preparing whether they're going to be out there or not there. And if they're not there, it just helps them, because then that's two of the better players, or one of the two of the better players aren't out there playing. Like telling Michigan today that Carnell Tate will be ready to go Saturday isn't going to change anything. It's not going to change their approach to the game. It's not going to change their game plan, and it's probably not going to change the outcome.
Nope, it wouldn't change anything. And I agree with you, because like I know for a fact both like Wink Martindale is preparing his defense and everybody on that defense like for Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate to be playing.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. You have to prepare like they're both going to be out there.
Yeah, like that would be fucking coaching malpractice.
Yeah.
If you did not prepare for that, like you should be fired immediately. If your game plan was like, well, there was on rumors of someone on Twitter or on Reddit that Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith are not playing, and now my game plan is whole just basically fucked. Like, no, you have to prepare for these people playing. It's just the same thing as Ohio State and Matt Patricia preparing for Jordan Marshall to play as well. Like, it's the same thing.
Yep. Yeah. You're preparing for their best. If you're not, it's malpractice, like you said.
Yeah.
Other than that, you got anything else before we wrap things up here?
No, I do not. I just I know that we have some more discussions to talk about, and I'm looking forward to having a conversation about that. Like, when do you want to do that? Like Friday or?
Yeah, I think Friday will be good. I'm not doing shit on Friday, so we can get together at any time. But we'll probably get together. Like we wanted to have a couple different topics to talk about this week. I think on Sunday we're gonna kind of do like a post game like live reaction show where we'll actually go live on YouTube and X and that type of thing, and you guys can ask questions. Always DM us if you guys want us to talk about anything beforehand or after. But I think on Friday we're going to talk a little bit about why I think Ohio State's going to win, and then Metal's going to get into a little bit more of why he thinks Michigan's going to win for a fifth straight time. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think this was an awesome conversation. I think that it's nice. It's the one thing I do appreciate is you do see a lot of like, hey, fuck you, you're Michigan. Fuck you, you're Ohio State. Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's nice to be able to get on behind a microphone and have a conversation with somebody on the other side, and it's like respectful and not biased. Like, it's at like you can acknowledge things that are not okay with Michigan, and I can acknowledge things that are not okay with Ohio State. I think you have to like take the fan blinders off and have a legitimate conversation, and I think that we do a really good job of that.
Yeah, we do, and I do appreciate it. Like especially, I mean, I made this post on X, like meeting you and Dylan, like in the past year, to where like I can have like cordial conversations and not worried about someone just being uncharitable in their conversation. And I think you guys do a really good job about that. And like I've said this in the past, like I think I'm more friends with Ohio State fans. I think most of my followers are Ohio State fans than they are Michigan fans.
Well, dude, last night I said something about Michigan's basketball team being like, I said that they're a legitimate like national championship contender, and I had all these like or Ohio State fans like telling me I'm meat riding Michigan. Like, dude, that's not meat riding. Like, fucking watch them. They have the sixth high strength of record or schedule, whatever the hell you call it, to this point, and they're undefeated, and they just killed Auburn by 30. Like, that's not a biased take at all. Like, that is simply me just sitting there in my recliner watching a game and being like, damn, Michigan's pretty good. They could make a run in March.
Dude, that's like old school like mentality though. You know what I mean? Like a lot of like old heads like believe that like, oh, you can't say anything positive about the rival team. Like, no, I'm just gonna make a video about Julian saying, and I get called a fucking meat.
It doesn't mean I hate him any. It doesn't mean I hate him any less or any more. Like, I still fucking hate Michigan. I want to see him win every game except for one, because that just bodes better for the rivalry. And some people would probably hate me for that, even saying something like along those lines, that I don't want Michigan to lose every time. No, I want Michigan to come into the game 11-0, and I want to kick their fucking ass. That's just how it is.
Right. I mean, it also makes you as a person like trustworthy and like approachable, to where like you're not gonna get some like bullshit and like analysis that is so biased.
Yeah, right.
To where like you can say the critical things that need to be said, just because like some people don't say the bad words about their team. Like they don't say the bad things about like, oh Ohio State. I can't say that Ohio State looks good just because like it just goes against my entire existence.
Yeah.
Like, dude, yes you can. You can say that. There's nothing wrong with saying Julian Sayin is the best quarterback in college football right now. Will he look like the best quarterback in college football on Saturday? I don't know.
Hope not.
We'll find
you hope
out.
Not.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope fucking Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith are held under 40 yards receiving, right? But like, you just can't do that. That just makes you uncharitable and disingenuous. But yeah, I'm excited for Saturday. I'm excited to have more conversations about this. Hopefully, I'm not too wrecked on Saturday. I probably won't be, just because I'm staying home for the fucking game. Yeah, I think we'll be able to pull that off. Have a post game analysis, and kind of talk about like what happens. Hopefully, in my favor, Michigan wins, and I know in your favor, Ohio State wins. But it should be some good content and some good conversations going on.
Probably be our best show yet, quite honestly.
Oh yeah, dude. I feel like ever since like we got to this point, like our like single videos have just done numbers. Just like talking about like Ohio
certain
State,
topics.
Michigan. Yeah, certain topics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what? One more thing. I'm fucking pissed that Josh picked Michigan, because now we're gonna
I love
lose.
it. I love it. He's done it like the last. He's picked Ohio State the last 4 times. I love it. I was like
God damn it!
I saw that and I was like, hell yeah, shit's about to turn now.
I just fucking did the Darth Vader meme of no.
I mean, he's not wrong. Like, every analytic has told you pick Ohio State. They're better at this, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, that's how it's been the last 4 fucking years. Outside of maybe the one. But it says that. The analytics say Ohio State every single year. But if there's ever an example of throw everything out the window, records don't matter, analytics don't matter, it's this game, it's this week, it's this one every single year. So I don't blame him.
Right. Like, I don't blame him at all. One crazy thing about this game is that for both teams, they will see the best offense from out their schedule. And that's surprising to say for Ohio State, seeing Michigan as the best offense when Ohio State played Texas, Illinois, Washington, And I think that's pretty much it, right? Like just offensive efficiency. Like Michigan is ranked 16th on ESPN's like offensive efficiency in their rankings, and obviously Michigan is going to see the best offense and best defense, just basically going into Saturday. So it's going to be interesting, and then I can't wait till Friday, to just kind of like break this down and talk about like our predictions. So.
Yes, sir. We're going to learn a lot on Saturday. A lot of new things that are going to be brought to the table for both sides. So,
yes, sir.
All right, Meta, we'll get back together on Friday, but enjoy your Thanksgiving. Hopefully get some good turkey and whatever else that you enjoy on Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, you too.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry, I hope you are learning the Hail to Victor's lyrics, all right?
I haven't even fucking looked it up. Don't need to. Don't fucking need to. The first time, if I have to sing that, the first time I'll ever look at the words is when I'm reading it on my phone.
You better be in key too. I'll do the same for Carmen, Ohio, if that's the case.
Yeah, you better get practicing.
Yeah, fuck off.
All right, middle ground out.